So here we're going to set up Azure Dev Ops and a Git project, which is hosted within Azure. And as you can see on the Azure website, there's a number of features you get beyond version control to allow you to manage your work, as well as all of your software build and potentially deployment. So obviously start for free and register an account. Once you log in, you'll get a dashboard similar to this one, where we can create a new project. So we'll give it a name and a description. We can choose whether this is public or whether it's private, so you can actually control who sees and works on the project. And just to correct my description there, it's actually Git that we're going to use, not GitHub. There is a different integration between Azure and GitHub. And you can also choose the work item process, which will change how all the work management aspects work, but we're just looking at the version control here. So this will automatically create a new project. Here we go. And on the left, we can see the orange repos icon. So if we go to that, we get an option to clone our repository. So if we click Visual Studio, and it'll ask to open in an app, you may have to select the Visual Studio Web Protocol handler yourself for it to then open Visual Studio. Now, once this loads, this will ask you to log into the Microsoft account that you've associated or created to use Azure. And then we can clone our project to our local repository. The one in the background is actually a default version control that's trying to connect, so you'll only see the front window when you work through this. So now that's complete, it'll open the Team Explorer for us. And it can tell that we've cloned an empty repository here. So here we can see our empty repository in the Solution Explorer. So we'll want to go and add a new project. And here we'll want, again, an empty Arduino project, similar to GitHub. And we'll want to make sure that our location is where we cloned our repository to on our disk, so that this new project goes into our repository so that we can upload it to Git. So give it a name as usual and create. This will change over to the Solution Explorer view, and again you can see the little green pluses next to all of the new files, and you can write your Arduino code and build as normal at this point. We can also switch back to the folder view so we can actually see what the repository looks like, and we can see again all of the green pluses. So if we go to the Team Explorer tab, and if you've closed it, just go View and Team Explorer. If we click Changes, we can see all of the changes that we've made. Now, some files you won't want to include in your version control, so if you just right click these, say ignore those items, that'll stop them being uploaded and causing confusion and conflicts. So now we have it down to the files that we want, and I've had to do it again, which is why the git ignore's already been uploaded now. So we'll actually check in our project, and the commit actions are all the same in the normal Git process. So we'll run it with the sync so it does all of the actions all at once for us. There we go. We're now fully synchronized with our repository online. So if we go back to Azure and then go to Repos and Files, we can now see our project, all the files we've just uploaded. You can open them as well as edit them in the online editor. We can also go to the commits menu to see all the commits we've made. You also see all the changes highlighted for you in red and green, depending on deletions or additions. And you can also add comments in the online editor as well. So it's very useful if you're working as a group. So there we go. You can also go view history. This is the same for anything integrated with the version control in Visual Studio, so Git or TFS. And you can also view that online, of course, in the online portal. There are also lots of other features for work items, dashboards, a wiki, as well as building and storing off your code in Azure, so it's much more than just a version control system.